The next wildcard we will look at is the underscore wildcard. Underscore wildcard is used to represent a single character. Let's switch over to SQL Server and see how that works. All right, so I'm gonna make my comment and I'll call this the underscore wildcard. The first thing I'll do will be to print out our books table. Okay, so the underscore wildcard is used to represent a value. So the underscore itself means a value. For example, if we look at our, and let's order by available copies. Okay. So if we look at our available copies, we know we have some copies in the 10, so we have 50, 55, and then we have some copies in the hundreds. But then each of these, so the way to look at this is that 5 is one character, 0 is another character. So for the 10s, we have 2 characters. So each figure is a character. If we look at those in hundreds, 1 is one character, 2 is another character, and 5 is another character. So we have 3 characters within available copies. The way we use Wildcard is this. So let's say we want to, and I'm going to write out the query first from books, and we don't have to, for now we don't have to order our results set. So I'm just going to say where, and we'll use available copies, and we'll have a like, okay, and this is where we use the underscore. Now, like I said, the underscore really just means a character. So if we do one underscore, for now I'm just going to do 2 underscores, and then I'll close the quotes. So what this is saying is that retrieve from the books table within the available copies wherever we have 2 characters. If I run this, so if you look now, it's only retrieved those books that the available copies are in the 10s. So not anything less than 100 is retrieved. I'm going to copy the same query, paste, and then now I'm going to add one more underscore. And when we run this, now we'll see that it's retrieved those that has 3 characters. Let's run both queries together. So the first query retrieves because we only had 2 underscores. It retrieved 2 characters. And then the second query, we have 3 underscores, and then it retrieves 3 characters. And we can, apply this to any column, within our table. So let's say we want to retrieve from our books table author's first name that has only 5 characters. For whatever reason, we only want to retrieve authors that has 5 characters in their first name. So all we need to do, we have a select all from books. And when we have our where clause, where, and we choose author's first name. And then we have our like. And now we want just 5 characters, so we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We close that, and let's run this query. So now we see that our author, now we only have now 6 records, and all 6 records do have the author's first name with 5 characters. So that's how we use the underscore wildcard. We can also use the underscore and the percentage wildcard in the same query. And I'm going to write out the query first and then explain later. So we have select all from books, and we'll have where we can say author last name like. So what we want is one character, and then next to that character we want the letter A, and then it can end with anything. All right. So I'm gonna run this first and then explain. So what we're doing here is this: we're selecting from our books, we and we're using the author's last name, and we're saying that we want records in which the author's last name is like it has a character. It starts with any character, but then next to that character, the next character has to be A, the alphabet A, and then it can end with any character. So if we look at our author's last name, Cadon starts with C, but the next character is A, Maxwell, and then it ends with anything. Same with Maxwell, Zafon, it starts with anything, but the next character has to be A, but then it can end with anything. Watson, Saramago, Cadon, Warren. So that's one way in which we can combine both the underscore as well as the percentage wildcard. And we can also reverse the order. So I'm going to copy this again. Now let's say same last name, but now let's say it can start with anything. And then we have one character, but it must end with the alphabet S. So what we're saying is this: we want to retrieve records from our table in which the last name starts with any character, but it must end with the letter S, the alphabet S, and any character can come before that S. Let's run this. So if we look at our last name, all of this ends with S, but then the character before the S are different. So we have Burrows W, Brooks K, Roberts T.